when I'm not mindlessly browsing through Amazon at 3 in the morning, then 2 days later getting a 1980s style Casio calculator wristwatch that I don't remember ordering in the mail. I like to answer questions that I get on YouTube. Let's get to it. I was waiting for the vocoder to make an appearance. I have gotten a lot of comments about my new infatuation with the vocoder. There is definitely going to be more vocoder content coming. This was actually taken off the video of me trying out that Behringer vocoder for the first time with Katie and Andrea. I highly recommend you watch. That video turned out fantastic because it starts with Andrea trying to open a box by stabbing it straight down with a knife, and it ends in what is probably the greatest Sweetwater promo of all time. So if you haven't seen the vocoder video, please check that out. This comment was actually on a video me and Katie made about 5 different ways to ruin a Beatles song, which again is another video that I just feel that quarantine has finally gotten to me, and it's just like no holds barred for what I'm willing to put on the channel at this point. Vocoder content coming right up. Nobody asked for it, doesn't matter. How to ruin a Beatles song? Probably the most unnecessary video posted to YouTube. Doesn't matter. It's still coming. So if anybody has any borderline ideas for great YouTube videos, hit me up in the comment section because it's just really no holds barred at this point. Speaking of, I had a great idea. This has nothing to do with the question or music or anything. I had a great idea for a side business called iGigolo, right? I was thinking about, all right, if this is a big recession, people are not watching YouTube videos anymore, what would be a really cool business that I would have to do, like a last resort type business? And I was thinking about, in the town I live in, Sarasota, Florida, it's an older trending population, and there's a lot of opportunity for me to just go to old ladies like condos and stuff and do tech support for like their iPads and printers and stuff. But that's just, I just don't like doing that. But again, that's a recession-proof job, helping old ladies out with tech. And another one would be like the oldest profession, which would just be like being a gigolo or a male escort. So I was thinking, to put myself a cut above, it would be an iGigolo, where I visit old ladies and be a male escort and then fix all their tech problems at the same time. I thought that was a really good idea. Let me know what you guys think. Hi Sean, love your channel, bud. Quick thing, I remember in another video you were saying you don't memorize songs in your repertoire, but you follow a mathematical formula. I understand the 1-4-5 thing, but could you maybe explain a little deeper on this? I think I get what you're talking about. Not quite sure though. Thanks, man. Yeah, so back in olden times when I used to play a bunch of live shows, I've talked about learning, like, memorizing well over 100 songs you can just kind of bust out or whatever. And a lot of it is just learning the number pattern. So again, I kind of want to talk about the bare minimum music theory you should ever know. It may be a different way that I've explained it. I've tried to explain this a lot because it's the most important thing, knowing what notes in a scale become what chords. And I know a lot of people that have trouble understanding this, like I did, just kind of need to hear it a certain way. And I think a very interesting way that is not scale heavy, not music theory at all, to kind of turn those formulas into easy to remember number formulas, just kind of like patterns, is to think of it like this. Let's take a guitar, all right? The 2 lowest strings, the E and the A string, the 4th, the 6th, and the 8th fret, 4, 6, 8. Okay, so that's easy because it's the same frets. You can do this anywhere. It's just you have a note, you go 2 frets higher and 2 frets higher, you go down a string, and repeat the same thing. Those are the first notes of the major scale. I'm playing the Taylor GA3. I'm actually tuned down a step. Okay, so 4, 6, 8, 4, 6, 8. It could easily be 3, 5, 7, 3, 5, 7. So let's say this is in standard tuning. This is a G, right? Again, it's going to be lower, but 3, 5, 7, 3, 5, 7. All right, those notes are the 6. We can call them the 6 main notes of the major scale. Wherever you start, that wristwatch just fell off my wrist. Wherever you start, this is major scale, right? 3, 5, 7, 3, 5, 7. Or if you're in the key of, again, on a standard tune guitar, A, 5, 7, 9, 5, 7, 9. Any of those notes become a chord, okay? I think it can be confusing and kind of daunting to be like, all right, well, the 1st, 4th, and 5th notes become major chords. The 2nd, 3rd, and 6th notes become minor chords. Saying that is, again, factual, something that everybody needs to know. But a lot of times, if you're just learning a scale, that's like already confusing. Like, notes, chords, 1, 4, 5, 2, 3, 6. I think thinking of a pattern like this, 3, 5, 7, and then the same thing down a string. Any of those notes can become chords. A great way to look at it is that first string that we played here, the lowest string, goes major, minor, minor. Okay? What that means is if I were to make a chord starting on that note, I'd get a major chord, a minor chord, and a minor chord. And again, instead of playing major, minor, minor, let's make it something just a really, really easy. A major chord, like if you ever play a G major chord on a guitar, right? Middle finger, 3rd fret on the E string, pointer finger, 2nd fret on the A string. That's just a piece of a G major chord. When you strum everything, you get the full chord. But that's a root, and it's what's called a major third. They start to combine to start the makings of a major chord. Okay, we do that on that first of the 3, 5, 7. Then for the 5th, the next 2, this is going to be the same thing, except with that pointer finger note flattened. Flattened just means kind of subtract one back, one farther back, right? So a minor third, a flat third, that's going to be a minor chord. So now I've got 5E and 3A. That's a minor chord. That's the 2, right? 1, 2, 3. The first, second, and third notes become a major chord, a minor chord, and a minor chord. Okay? Now we did that same pattern, remember, on the A string, but now we're just going to go major, major, minor. Okay? 4, 5, 6. So we've got major, minor, minor, major, major, minor. Okay? So that's just a different way of looking at the 1, 4, and 5 being all the major chords, and the 2, 3, and 6 being all the minor chords. Okay? So you can number chord progressions. Any chord progression will fit some version of this numbering system. Again, the numbering system is so important. I get it, it's daunting if you've never really thought about this stuff before, but again, it is the most valuable thing you can ever learn as far as just increasing your understanding of any instrument, knowing just kind of how chord progressions work and how songs are built from them, okay? So, when I say a 1, 4, 5, that just means the first, 4th, and 5th notes of the scale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 4, and 5, those become chords. We can turn those all into the major chords. And again, I'm just using an example where you have a root note and it's major third. Now, I just use that because it's a very easy movable shape and it gets the job done. Technically, which some people have already probably pointed out in the comment section, that's not really a major chord yet. You need the 5th note away, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, to get a full major triad or 3-note chord, all right? But whatever, we're not worried about that. I just want you to think of these being locations to put major chords. And then once you can do that, then maybe you can turn them into bar chords or different open chord voicings. But it all starts from there. Major, minor, minor, major, major, minor, major, minor, minor, major, major, minor, major, minor, minor, major, major, minor. You can do the same thing with 7th chords, like a major 7th chord, a minor 7th chord, a minor 7th chord, to a major 7th chord, dominant 7th chord, and a minor 7th chord. But it all starts knowing that the first 6 notes of a scale go major, minor, minor, major, major, minor. Again, some people have easier ways to remember that. Like for me, I thought of grouping them as 1, 4, 5 being major, 2, 3, 6 being minor, as being the easiest way for me to understand that. But the beauty of guitar and why there's so many different resources out there that are all really great is that you just kind of have to hear something a certain way to make it click, and that can be something different for everybody. So I try teaching things from different perspectives that I've seen over the years to try to make things as easy as possible. And I think just taking that is one way to do it. And again, you can root that anywhere on really just the E or the A string, right? Take the first fret. You have a note, 2 notes higher, 2 notes higher, 2 frets higher. Same thing on the A string. Major, minor, minor, major, major, minor. Same thing up here. Major, major, minor, minor. It's harder to say major, minor, minor, major, major, minor than it is to think, okay? That's why I just like saying 1, 4, 5 major, 2, 3, 6 minor. But again, just saying a mumbled jumble of numbers and the word major and minor can be very, very daunting, but that is the main thing. So, to kind of answer the question, too, at the same time, how do you remember all these songs? It's really just like, oh, this song is just a 6-5-4 in E, or whatever, and then you can kind of just like substitute those. Like, all right, so it's like, all right, if here's the E, right? Let's say this is open E, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6, 5, 4 would be 6, 5, 4. Okay, and then I can just take that as the basis, try to think of what that song sounds like. Then you have like the tempo and the rhythm, and then you're off to the races. Are you playing it with a pick, you filthy degenerate? This was my ukulele lesson. I was also corrected, as people love to do, about the pronunciation of the word ukulele. Of course I know it's ukulele. I'm just not going to bring myself to say ukulele for whatever reason. There are some words that I, for some reason, proudly mispronounce. And that just seems like a very American thing. And I will continue to say ukulele, and I will also continue to sometimes play it with a pick, even though I know that's blasphemy, but guess what? It's a lot easier to hear what I'm doing on camera when I'm using a pick because it's a little bit louder as compared to me talking over playing a ukulele at the same time with my fingers, and then I kind of drown it out with my booming manly voice. So I'll play a ukulele. I almost said ukulele. I'll play a ukulele however I want because this is America. Have you ever done a specific Travis picking tutorial? Would that be contained in the Fingerstyle class by chance? Absolutely, it is in the Fingerstyle class I made with my buddy Kyle on Super Sale still. Check it out in the description. An incredible amount of information for less than the price of a half-hour guitar lesson. Travis picking is that sound that you've probably heard. If you've never heard of what Travis picking is, it's kind of like a... really just kind of, you know, I would say a basic finger-picking style, but goes a little bit beyond. I teach the song Hardwired by Shaky Graves, one of my all-time favorite songs, in that class. So yeah, definitely check that out, and I'll go further into Travis picking if you're interested. What synths are you using? Thank you. So this is a question posed on the music video I just posted with Andrea. Really happy with how that turned out, and I really like the sound of that. And I have been using a lot of the Arturia soft synths, but for that one specifically, that was all analog hardware synths. Most of it was the Prophet Rev 2. So again, I think there's really only 4 synth tracks. The Prophet is 3 of them. The only one that it's not is the bass. I wanted to use the Moog Sub Fatty for that. That's not even mine, it's actually my brother's. I convinced him to getting it when he was in a Daft Punk phase just because I wanted to play it. And he did. And then he never stopped playing it, so now I just have a Moog Sub Fatty sitting around, and I use that for the bass. I think it sounded fantastic. Gonna have some more synth videos coming for you soon. Oh my god, dude, just show the most common chord shapes that people play and stop making it a physics lesson. This is a comment on how to play diminished chords on a guitar, which is kind of funny that, like, a lot of times, like, just show how to play the chords. I don't care why or what these chords consist of. Just show me how to play it. But sorry about going in depth about... Really, the only thing I really talk about is how diminished chords are made and the difference between a diminished 7th chord and a minor 7 flat 5 chord. But I guess he wasn't interested in that physics lesson. For listening homework, we're going to link you to some newer, cool indie stuff. Soccer Mommy, definitely awesome vibe for a newer band. Check that stuff out. If you guys have any questions or comments, hit me up in the comment section, Instagram, Twitter, or the website. Talk to you all soon. Thanks a lot.